Th- This is Sarah Poff and her art hands. They're a gift from God. I'm the Multimedia Storyteller, and today I want to work on a story having to do with Easter. Now, this one, we might not be able to find as many substitutes for things that you might have around the house. However, you might be able to do that too. But I wanted to show you this one because I might like making the little scenes. So I have a piece of cardboard. I have my tempera cake. Paint is what I chose for tonight. And so the first thing we're going to do, and with those tempera cakes, it's kind of like with the watercolor. You've got to let it sit and absorb in so that you can use the paint. I'm going to get a little bigger paintbrush. So we want to do that, and then this is going to be a two-part one. We're going to make some of the things tonight and paint this. And then tomorrow we'll work on the little tree. I'm going to have to come up with a little bit of a substitute because I don't have a lunch sack. And that's what the little tree's made out of, is a lunch sack. So I got a couple ideas that I'm going to try out. And we'll see about that tomorrow night. So you want to have a green. This could be construction paper, or it could be painted. I like to do this green, and then a lot of times what I do afterwards is I add a little Easter grass for a little texture on there. See how I have the Easter grass on top of it? So I actually do like a couple different cardboards there to give it a little dimension. I used to do it on wooden plaques I got from my mom, and then I ran out of those, so I don't have any more. Alright, so baskets. You can see the little basket of Easter eggs right here. There's a little bitty one. I have some like this. These are made out of cricket wire, if anybody's ever had crickets. Or you can go to the hardware store and you can ask them for cricket wire. It's a certain gauge. I don't remember what the gauge is, but I always just went and said, they'll say, well, what gauge? I was like, well, that one that you use for crickets, cricket wire. And so it's a little rectangle, and then the corners are knocked out. So we could take that if you don't have those other kinds of baskets. You know, you could use a little milk cup that you might have gotten milk in it for your coffee. There's all different kinds of things that you could use for that. All right. So we're going to take this little piece, and I'm going to kind of measure it here. I tried one out of the envelope piece. The little envelope baskets we made, and I made that one. I thought that might be a little bit harder to understand online. So basically I want a rectangle that has the little corners knocked out. All right. Seems like a long day today for me. So now I'm going to cut the little corners. So I would say the main thing is that you make them all the same size. I don't know that exactly what size this is matters as much as you try to stay with the same size. So then I'm going to bend this in. I made that one a little bit too tall. You're welcome to measure. I just can usually guess and get pretty close, so that's kind of what I end up doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the sides. And of course, if you were going to decorate, you're going to want to decorate it before you tape the sides on there. So I've actually done this with a whole set of school students. I'm not going to tape that other side because I think it's staying up pretty good, and that will save us a little time. Now I'm going to cut a real thin little handle here, and I'm going to make it just all the way across there because I'm not sure how big I want that handle. So I'd rather have it a little bit too much than not enough, and I'm going to kind of roll it. You could even roll that around a pencil if you want. Oh, yes! See my little basket? There we go. I now have a little basket. Get me a little piece of tape. I had a good time walking outside yesterday, but today is a little chilly. I walked a little bit out there, but then I just decided that it might not be good for me to have that much cool air on me. So I guess when I get off here, I'm going to have to walk around the house. Sometimes I just get tired of walking around the house, though. Hi, Paula. Hi, Amy. Okay, here's my little basket. All right, so I have some Model Magic. You might have some little bit of Play-Doh, or if you would like to do salt dough, it's an option that you could do some little things with. Or there's another one. It's called White Bread and Elmer's Glue Dough. And it's the one that my mother used to use a lot, and it works a lot like the Model Magic does. So these are just the random colors I happen to have here at the house. So I'm just going to make me a little piece. And what I like about doing this with little ones is they don't have to have any certain size. If we see it in a basket and it's a colored little ball, we automatically think, oh, those are Easter eggs. But if you have someone who's a little bit older, they can roll it and then roll one side just a little bit, and it takes on more of the egg shape. Of course, this would be a fun thing to allow a little time to mix the clay and get different colors. Okay, so I'm doing a circle, just a little ball. And then I'm doing it like that. I'm dropping it in here. And then what I would probably do is like tomorrow, after these kind of dry, then I would take them out, put a little Easter grass underneath there, glue them in unless you want them to just be loose in there. If you're doing it with younger children, you probably don't want it to be loose because they'll go spilling it all over the house. But so you can mix them together, and then you have some different colors like this. Oh, that's too big. This is a good judgment in proportions there. All right. So I'm going to do one more egg. Let's just go ahead and do another blue one. All right, there's another blue one. So that's basically what the little basket looks like. All right, so now what I want to show you is I want to show you how to make the rabbit. All right, there's our rabbit. So we're going to take our white clay, Model Magic, and I'm going to divide it into two balls, about the same size there. And then I'm going to have a third one that I'm going to divide out for the legs, arms, and his little ball on the back side. So I'm going to take each one of these and I'm going to roll into a nice ball. Always want to start with a nice ball. Now for these to sit on top of each other, sometimes they don't stay as good as you wish. And so I always suggest that what you do is you create a peg and a hole setting. So I've got me a little hole that I poked my pencil in there. And then I'm going to pinch it out and roll it, kind of like we did for the little Easter eggs. So I'm going to put this in here, but I'm going to put a little Elmer's glue. Now, sometimes the clay, especially if it's really fresh, it will stick together. But then sometimes it like falls apart after it's dry. So this is the best way that I've found to put it together. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to divide this into 4 pieces for the arms and the legs and the ball. And then I've got another piece over here we'll do the ears with. So I'm just making a snake. I always like to refer to it as a snake because even little kids know how to make a snake out of clay. If you use that word coil, I usually try to use that, add in that word coil because we know that's the artist term for working with clay. Okay, so that one's a little bit bigger than the other one. So one of the cutting tools that I use is a hat pin. You've got a hat pin. You could use a toothpick. There's different types of things you could do. So for this one, I'm going to make it in half. And these are going to become the legs. And then I'm going to roll this one just a little bit more. And this is going to become the arms. All right. Now I'm going to make a little hole in the side like I did before for the leg. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to roll it like I did on the other. And so now I have a peg. So I have a hole and a peg. And I'm going to stick it in there. Just my insurance. I think he's going to be a fluffy bunny. I think he might be one that some little kid raised. And they fed him a lot. Because he certainly doesn't look like the ones I used to chase around my yard when I was a kid. We had bunnies in the spring. All right, now I need to put on his arms. Now, since there's a little more of a crevice here, I'm just going to stick that like right in there. But I'm still going to roll the little piece so that I have it in there to be able to stick it. Do the same thing with this one. Hey Paula, I have a video where I made bluebirds out of Model Magic. I made them for my the DAR group I was part of at that time for some decorations for them. So I'll have to post that on my Facebook page. You might be interested in seeing that. I ran across it the other day. All right, so now what I want to do is ears. So let's see. I think the ears are the most important thing to let us know that it's a bunny. So let's see, how big do I want? What do you think? Is that about right? So I'm going to make another one about like that. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with those other pieces. Is I'm going to make a hole, push down a hole, and I'm going to twist this in. Now, before I put these in, I want to add some pink inside the ears. I think this is a little bit dark. I think I got carried away with what color I chose. So I'm going to try this marker. I'm using permanent. You do not have to use permanent. The water ones will work. That just happened to be the quickest one I could find. So I think that looks pretty good. Sometimes I just have certain supplies sitting out here on my table. If not, it takes me a long time to get ready for these. I find myself just doing art, genealogy, and then working on my Wagon Train West. Okay, I don't think I put glue on this side. Now his ears are being a little droopy there. So it might be that what I should do is I should lay him flat tonight like this, so that he could dry in that position, and then tomorrow he'll be able to stand up. I'm going to leave him up just for a minute though, because I want to give him some eyes. Plus he needs a fluffy tail. He needs a fluffy old tail. Alright, I still want to do the same as I did before. I want to make a peg and a hole. I have some of these that I know I made like 15 years ago, and they're still good. Now, I'm not sure that the children that make them with me always theirs last that long, because sometimes they have a habit of wanting to play with them. Now, I'm going to do this too, because I want it to dry good on the inside. So I stuck my pencil up in there to give it a little spot to be able to dry. Alright, now he needs eyes. Now it looks like I made the eyes there, but I'm going to try it a different way tonight. I'm going to just do a dot with the permanent marker, just like that. And that peachy color we're going to do like right here. I mean, that's the other cool thing about this, is that the clay just picks right up. The clay picks right up on the markers, however you use it on them. Going to draw some whiskers. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to leave it at this tonight. So we did the green base, and we did the rabbit, and we did some Easter eggs for the rabbit. And then tomorrow we'll come back and I'll show you how to make the tree and to put the scene together. All right, this is Sarah Poff and those art hands. You have a great day now.